I have been living here in Florence now for the past 3 months, and although I'm not an expat, but I'm not a tourist either, I'm simply nomading. It's part of my nomadic sojourn on Earth that I'm here. And I want to share with you some of the lessons that I have learned while living here in this amazing, beautiful city of Florence, Italy. The first thing we're going to start with is La Vita E Bella. This is something that we have started to realize within the first few weeks of living in Florence, Italy. When we arrived at our apartment in our Airbnb, there were a few things that were not working. We smelled some really strange smell from, I think it was the sewage or the gas. There were a few things, a few other little hiccups, I would say. For us, it was really like a safety issue. But it was just so, the response we got was just so laid back. It was like, oh, this is normal, the smell should go away, or it should pass at some point. And then at some point, my husband and I, we started getting really laid back about things. I think it's such an important thing to have. Not to stress about every single thing, stress about what's important, know what matters in life, but let go of the little things and appreciate the little things. So yeah, I think that's a life lesson that I'm definitely going to take with me. La vita è bella. Number 2 is la bella figura. So I know that Italians don't really stress so much about the little things, but what's really important to them is to make a good impression. And la bella figura, this is exactly what it means. It translates as a good figure, which means making a good impression. And a good impression, especially when you are making yourself presentable. So it's all about the way you dressing really good. And of course, I mean, you all know that Italians are very famous for, the whole fashion industry and beauty, and their sense of aesthetics is just so amazing. Ever since we have been in Florence, we've been astounded by the beauty of this city, not only seen in the architecture throughout the various eras. And, people take great care, great pride in how they look. And I love that. I think it's something that we can all learn from it, la bella figura. To make a good impression, to dress well, to dress presentable. It's a sign of respect, it's a sign of pride in ourselves and in the way we live. The third lesson that living here in Florence, Italy taught me is la passeggiata. So along with la bella figura, making a good impression, one of the ways to experience that is to go and take an evening leisurely stroll, which is usually between 6 and 7 p.m. This is something really normal that a lot of people do here. I'm not sure if it's the same in other parts of Italy, but probably is. La passeggiata. So they just walk, with families, and they're walking to the restaurants, or they're just taking a passeggiata culturale, which is where they are, you can do that to visit a museum, to visit a guided tour in a garden, where then the guide will explain to you about different sculptures and which artist made what and all of the history of Florence. So I find that Passeggiata is just such a really great moment to slow down, not only also to do la bella figura, but also to slow down, take a moment, have a walk. It doesn't matter how you're feeling in your day, you take time to take this really stroll along the city, and I can tell you it does wonders. It does wonders for the mind, for the soul, for the body as well. It's like a little bit of exercise. Some people use it to walk their dogs. There's lots of people with dogs here. Dogs are very much welcomed. Such a great time, and my husband and I, we have loved being part of this as well. The fourth lesson that living in Florence, Italy taught me is that the family is the center of the Italian culture. It's almost at the heart of everything they do. There are a lot of independent adults who, work, earn an income, and they are, between the ages of 20 and 40 years old or so. but they would still be living with their extended family, like, you know, the uncles, the nonas, and the like the parents. And that I found that we can learn so much from them, because a lot of their things is revolving around family. Because of the economy and, you know, having to find jobs and employment, some adults, they would actually go and find a job in a big city, but then they will commute back. They would prefer to do the 1 hour, 2 hours commute by train to go back with their family, living with them, and then go to work in another city, in another region altogether. Otherwise, there are a lot of businesses that are run by the family. So there's lots of family-run businesses that we have seen in Italy, and that is also what makes their brand story very powerful. And I love that. The fifth lesson that I have learned in Italy, living here in Florence for the past 3 months as a nomad, is la stagione. So what I have noticed is that there is the whole idea of seasonal living is almost sacred here. And I don't know if it's maybe part of the, you know, slow food movement. It's taking this great care and passion for the land and for living aligned with the seasons. A lot of times we've gone to the market and we've asked for timo, which is thyme, and then we've only gotten like 2 little sprigs of thyme, and we're like, okay, how is that going to be enough for the week? But actually, that's how it is here. Like, you live with the seasons and you live slow. So you just take what you need at the market, whatever you need to cook for today, fresh, and then the next day you go back again, and I absolutely love that. We've been eating seasonally, which means we have spent a lot of our winter months here. So we were here in the transition month, which was autumn. So we've had some of the autumn food items, and then now we're having, you know, mostly winter items, which are, when we go to the market, it's mostly the root vegetables, like you know, fennel, potatoes, even sweet potatoes is a little bit like, we see that it's not as much, it's not abundant as much as it was before. Lots of carrots, beetroot, there's lots of kale as well. So it's been a really interesting journey to live and learn all of these amazing things from the Florentines and Florence in Italy in general. So yeah, so if you're an Italian watching this, thank you so much for sharing your culture with me, and thank you for the way you live, and keep doing you. And then if you're wanting to visit Italy, or if you have visited Italy and have experienced this, or if you're also living like this, you know, very slow, intentional, please let me know in the comments below, what are some of the things that you know, or that you have learned from the Italian culture, or that you love from the Italian culture, and let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and ciao ciao. If you like it, please subscribe. Ciao!